Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming to my channel. Please, before we get the video started, do not hesitate. Hit that subscribe button down below and drop me a like if you really feeling my stuff. I do appreciate you all coming and finding me. Hey, let's have some fun today. Hey, yo. Oh, man. I'm not gonna lie. I fucked up. Alright, so before we get started, I gotta put out a disclaimer before I even start asking for subscribes and any of that stuff. So just so y'all know, it's like 5 o'clock in the evening right now when I'm recording. So I just got off of work and I can already hear my neighbors' kids. They're out and about, they're yelling, and I'm not really trying to, tell some kids when they can and can't play. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. If you hear them in the background, unfortunately, that's what's going on. That's the kind of predicaments that we're in right now. That's why I typically try to record when nobody else is up and about or doing certain stuff. You live and you learn. This is probably more intensive for me to actually get a fucking studio or soundproof shit. Sounds a little too hard. So you get what you got. I'm playing. I'm joking. Dog. New setup, new desk, who this? New chair, who this? Yo, fam, it's wild. I'm not sitting in a picnic chair no more. Hell, now y'all can y'all ain't gotta see me just do some bullshit with this open ass space. Now I got a little bit going on. Y'all always I heard somebody ask me for a background and I still ain't got one yet. Little things, little victories. So let's go ahead and get started, right? Before we get the podcast going, before we start the Continuity Cast, ladies and gentlemen, please do not hesitate. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button. Come through. You already here. You might as well go ahead and make yourself comfortable. Join the family. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Hey, look, ain't nothing but love over here from good old Cage. So, let's get the show started. All right. So, where to begin? Welcome to episode 9, right? The reason why it's episode 9, this is actually episode 9 part 2 for me. So this previous weekend, I actually recorded episode 9, the true episode 9 of the Continuity Cast. And then what had happened was my computer told me to go fuck myself, and it just deleted all my shit. All my stuff. I was trying to make room for it. I got a MacBook Pro. That shit said, nah, fam. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'll just go fuck myself. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I didn't want to, talk to the people. So for anybody who put out an APB on Cage's location, do not worry. I'm still alive for now. Look, I'm still good. It's just, we had a little bit of a snafu last time. This time, all you can do from a situation like that is you live and you learn. I did what I could to try and mitigate that situation from happening again. So with that being said, here we are for the true episode 9. So welcome back for all those who are glad to be back. Welcome back to the Continuity Cast. Like I just said, there's kids running around. So if you hear that, I do apologize. Unfortunately, Cage don't know how to edit shit out the background. One day, if I find somebody who likes me enough to do this type of stuff, hook a brother up, then we'll try to do that. But for right now, this is what we got. You know what I'm saying? So, where to begin? I got my talking points right here. So, the good thing about having a desk is now I can keep my talking points right here in the eye shot. So, I'm not, looking off and looking all crazy and shit like that. So, I am appreciative. I want to thank my beautiful, beautiful wife for this anniversary gift. A nice desk. I got everything within a nice reaching distance. Nice and organized for everybody who needs the things to be like that. Don't you worry. I got you. And this is pretty dope. I'm going to have I got a little studio set up right now. I'm going to see what else I can do to progress from here. So, recently, as of November 12th, the almighty PlayStation gave us its newest baby, its newest iteration, and I can't lie, I don't have that shit. Yo, man, this is day 5 of me waking up, a good Christian man waking up to no PS5, my own waifu, my beautiful darling wife, the motherfucking Hinata to my Naruto, the Chi-Chi to my Goku, who else does anybody give a shit about? Look, I'm trying to think of at least one more anime couple to drive home. how we're destined to be together for eternity. The motherfucking Sarabi to my Mufasa, the Nala to my Simba, the Bell to my Beast. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we supposed to be in this forever. I got her a cricket maker because my beautiful wife has a craft business. Check out the Instagram for that one. But she got a craft business, so I said, all right, I want to support your business. I feel like the next step for you to make, for you to take, is to have a cricket maker. That way you can make all types of different stuff. Get started with embroidery. So I'm like, I bet I'm gonna just slide this one over to my woman just real quick like that. And I'm thinking like she's gonna exchange that with a PS5, and I got a desk. I'm not saying. Cage is not saying he doesn't appreciate it. I'm just saying, I feel as though this math don't add up. I give you a cricket maker and I get a desk. Look, I'm about to say like, yo, fam. All right. Like I said, I appreciate it. I love my darling wife. I know she had to work hard to find this. And then it's a black desk. This ain't regular wood. This is that motherfucking ebony mahogany. Onyx black wood. This is that shit that you get like fresh out of Wakanda. Like motherfucking, you know who ain't got this? Motherfucking Killmonger ain't got this because he's dead. But yeah, it's that real shit. This is that shit that you seen this shit on Coming to America Part 3. That's how advanced this shit is. Part 3 ain't even fucking in production yet, and I got it. So, like I said, shout out to my wife for that. But I'm not even finna front with you. I am doing my damnedest. I'm doing my best to stay the hell away from the internet, especially YouTube, because I'm trying my best to avoid Miles Morales Spider-Man spoilers. So, from what Cage is collecting, I'm seeing that it looks like it's a full-length game from what I'm perceiving from my eyes view, especially for that price. So it looks like it's a full-length game, and it looks fun as shit. It looks very, very, very entertaining. From one thing I heard somebody say was So Miles Morales does not fight as smooth as Peter Parker. He has a few heavier attacks, but he doesn't fight as smooth. I like that. I like the sound of that. I like the fact that he doesn't fight it with as much grace and agility, because Miles Morales is newer at this. I think this is like his first year as Spider-Man. So he has some type of rhythm to himself. He has some type of like, I'm going to do this instead of that. He has like his own flow to the thing. It's just, he's still trying to figure out, like trying to refine it more and more. So I do appreciate that. The game looks beautiful. Some of the costumes look fucking awesome. I can't wait to get my hands on that, when I get my own PS5 like a big boy. Then the next game, I've never played any of these games. I played Bloodborne for about 15 minutes, but the next game I'm thinking about getting is that Demon Souls. That shit looks beautiful. Now granted, Cage doesn't fuck with the giant spiders, but I think that I can like handle that little ass section with the giant spiders, unless there's even bigger spiders that show up. And somebody, I probably gotta watch a walkthrough or two, because I heard like with that game, it's not really. I don't know if it's about the story, but I think it's more about the the sheer brutality, the fact that it's so fucking difficult. I think that's more of what it's about. So that's another game I'm thinking about playing right there. And then I ain't played an Assassin's Creed game in so long. The last Assassin's Creed game I played, it was so the whole game I played was Black Flag when the PS4 first dropped, and then I got Unity after that. The issue with Unity is that it came with all them damn bugs and shit, and I said, "Fuck this! I'm already sick of it." And I think that was even before the microtransactions like really took over. But I played Unity for like a little bit. I barely made it into the story, and I gave up on that shit so fucking quick. So those are my experiences with that. So I'm like on the fence about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. What I have heard recently is with Assassin's Creed Origins, the one in Egypt, and Assassin's Creed. What is it's like a Spartan one, or not Spartan, but like Greek one. But the cool thing that I've heard about these games is that you can fight against these mythologies. Now, with that being said, I'm about to say, you should have started with that one. Now you kind of got my interest. My thing with Assassin's Creed was with it's after the I think after the third one, where you no longer play as Desmond Miles, because I really want to see where that story was going to go with there. Desmond Miles sacrificed himself, but to save the world. But now we're trying to I think the lady's name was Juno. It was like somebody from the first civilization came back to take over the world, and then we just stopped talking about it from there. I remember seeing the two people from Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood and all them that show up that you're fighting like against the Templars with in the present day, but they don't do anything with it. So now I'm like, all right, what the fuck were we even doing here? But with all that being said, Cage doesn't know. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you know, I'm saving myself for that God of War 2 Ragnarok. I'm saving myself for that. I'm saving myself for that like I saved myself for marriage. You know what I'm saying? Saving myself for that. I'm letting that one have its way with me. I'm not even gonna front with you. After that first God of War, look, they can have all my money. All me monies is going straight to that. But like I said, unfortunately, Cage does not have a PS5 yet. I'm probably gonna try to get one around Black Friday or Cyber Monday because, you know, I can't afford to go to jail. I have no patience for sitting in jail. Zero tolerance. I don't like to be told when I can go do shit. So I'm gonna wait for that, or maybe I have to wait for Crema. We'll see how that goes. So the next thing we're gonna go ahead and get into. All right, so full transparency. Before we get into the nerd talk, me and my wife, my beautiful darling wife, we sat down and watched the movie. So I'm gonna try to be a little more flexible with this one because it's been so long since, you know, the movies have been open, and me and my wife finally found a good movie to watch because in my opinion, like in our experience, it's been hard to even find the newer movies that's coming out because if we can't go to the movie theater, then where else are we gonna find these movies? But late to the show, but still ready to go. We watched Unhinged not too long ago. So it was yesterday. Look, yo, this movie was fucking funny, and that's it's not a terrible thing to say about the movie, but I shouldn't be saying that about this movie. The thing that had me dying in this movie was the terrible decisions, or at least like how long it took for this lady to make these terrible decisions. So a little bit of a disclaimer about this movie. So the movie is directed by Derek Borty. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. Hopefully I'm not butchering it. But it stars Russell Crowe and Karen Pistorius. Hopefully I didn't butcher her name too. So Russell Crowe plays this dude. How do we even put this? He looks like he used to work at a factory, but he got laid off because of some type of injury right before. They said a week before his pension. So he was right there, and then he got laid off. On top of that, he got divorced a while ago because you see in the beginning of the movie that his wife has a boyfriend. But this dude fucking has that Joker one bad day, and he fucking snaps, right? Goes in there, kills his wife, now he's on the run. And then from there, we get a movie. So, well, not really from there. My bad. Come back. Snap back to reality. So, from our lady, Karen, who plays fucking, I can't remember her name. It was something, I legit stopped caring with her name. So, we're going to go, I'm sorry, Miss Karen. So, she plays this single mother who's going in the middle of going through a divorce. To like, she's down and out. She's like trying to find a consistent source of income because she works, I think, as a stylist, and she ends up losing her best client throughout the movie. But she has a bad habit of always being late to something. And from wherever city they are in, because they don't really say, they deal with traffic a lot. So she's trying to take her kid to school, and she ends up fucking sitting behind our boy Russell Crowe. So Russell Crowe is at the fucking he's at the fucking stoplight. And he's just sitting there, lights green, and he's just sitting there. So the lady just like honks at him, just holding that bitch down. Like, you know, you got some, like, you flipping somebody off when you honking down like that, right? So obviously she's not happy. She gets past him, and then he pulls up. And for some reason, when he looks at the little boy and tells him to roll his window down, the little boy rolled his window down. Don't know why he did that. So that's number one on the bad decisions list. He starts fussing, saying like, yo, man, you didn't really have to go off on me like that. You could have just did a courtesy tap real quick. And then I would have said, okay, cool, and then been done with it. So I'm like, all right, fam, you know, you in the wrong because you should have went. The light was green. Get off your fucking phone. We got somewhere to go. Even old girl was like, yeah, man, you kind of wrong. The light was fucking green. Should have been on your phone. Like, we got somewhere to go. So I'm like, all right, bet. We on the same page for right now. Next thing you know, Fucking Russell Crowe's like, all right, you know what? I was wrong. I do apologize. I feel like I messed up. I could have paid attention. And then all he wants is an apology back because he feels like it was unnecessary for her to just lay into the horn like that to him. And she's like, fuck that. I don't feel like I need to apologize, so I'm not going to apologize. Also, understand that. Where the bullshit comes in is like, yo, this motherfucker says, oh, you don't want to apologize. Fucking bet, bro. I got your punk bitch ass. We gonna see something about that, and then we got the movie. When I tell you, dog, this shit was, it's not comedy. It's a thriller, but damn it, it was comedy. This shit, oh man, like the bad decision after bad decision. Yo, fam, I think the first bad decision that was made, and this is like, this is it's not even a spoiler because this is what I would have did at the beginning. If I notice that there's this dude that keeps following me everywhere I go, that's fucking with me because he has such bad road rage or he has nothing better to do with his day, all right, bet, I'm calling the cops. Look, I'm just gonna call the police. Because if I get out this car and I pop this motherfucking trunk, you see this, it ain't gonna end too well. So I'ma just, I'ma handle that in the best possible way. Y'all get your boy before I get him, type of deal, right there. Fucking, that was like the biggest thing. I was like, why don't she just go to the cops? But I guess like, cause in the beginning of the movie, they was like, oh, the police are run thin. Well, this dude, he thins them bitches out even fucking more. That's the way it looked on over here in Cage's point of view. But I kind of want to give people a chance to see this movie because it is pretty funny. Like, yo, take a shot for every time you feel like somebody made a bad decision. That's the kind of movie that I think it is right here. Even at the end of the movie, dog, like you know what's gonna happen. I saw like 4 different times where old girl or something that happened should have happened sooner. But instead, how we got to get that, that old nostalgic cheese fest going on. It was one of those things right there. Overall, though, the movie really wasn't bad. I think it was very well acted. Russell Crowe probably didn't even know that people were recording him. I think he was just going about a random day on like a fucking Tuesday for him. With that being said, I got to say, don't ask me for no grades for no fucking movies. I'm going to have to come up with that. I'd say if you were watching this one, and you was partaking in a drink or two, you have a good fucking time. I'll say that. Whether it's a beer, whether it's liquor, whether it's weed, whatever you drinking, you probably gonna have a good time with that movie. Now, with that being said, we got a little bit of the movie stuff out the way. Kind of gave you a little bit of my week. Dog, don't ask me about my week. I don't do shit. Look, I'm a man who sits in front of a camera to try and talk into a microphone, hoping I can reach out to people. This pretty much is the highlight of my week outside of spending time with my beautiful wife. See babe, you see the love I give you on this podcast? Where's my PS5? All right, so next thing we're going to talk about, let's get into a little bit of sports talk because I got to get some more shit off my chest. Now, yesterday, the Philadelphia Eagles decided, it's been a while since we, did something for the little big brother. Let's do something nice. So we decided to hand the Giants a fucking win. Don't know why we did that, but we decided to give them a win. We sure shit didn't want to win the game. Shout out to the New York Giants for kicking our ass, essentially. They won yesterday, Giants versus Eagles, 27-17. Oh, man, when I tell you, we made Daniel Jones look like Lamar. Well, this man got 2 rushing touchdowns over us. He put up a smooth. Hold on, I gotta pull up how many yards this man pulled up on us. Hold on, 244 yards, 21 for 28, 244 yards with a QBR of 91.4. Daniel fucking Jones. Shout out to him for shitting all over us. Carson Wentz put up a strong 21 for 37. With a QBR of 37.7. My boy got sacked 3 times. To our point, Daniel Jones also got sacked 3 times. So, give and take. Nah, not really. My biggest thing, so like, hold on, we gotta get let me go ahead and get this off my chest. The Eagles decided, hey yo, on 3rd downs, y'all got it. The Eagles went, let me see where it's at. 0 for 9 on 3rd downs. What the fuck y'all got going on? Wait. Who's drinking and where can I get a sip? I just want to know who's supplying Doug Peterson. What's in the Gatorade? Look, somebody go test that shit. I can't handle it. I feel like they got jungle juice in the Gatorade right now. That shit don't make no fucking sense to me. The Eagles were 0 for 9 on third down, 1 for 3 on fourth down. So that's already a shitty efficiency. The thing that tripped me out the most about this game, when we ran the ball, I think we ran the ball for about. Hold on, let me see if I can pull this up. I like to give you more accurate numbers because I'm trying. So we ran the ball. We rushed for 156 yards, right? We passed for 190 yards. Now I'm not that smart. 23 rushing attempts, 156 yards. Miles Sanders was damn near having his way. It's to the point, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit later. Jason Kelce he fucked up a snap, right? This man, Miles Sanders, picks the ball up and still rushed for about 6 or 7 yards. You got to, he's damn near getting whatever he wants. Give him more. And not just Miles Sanders. Boston Scott rushed for like a 56-yard touchdown. So I don't understand why we are not exposing this obvious weakness. Now, I get it. You paid Carson Wentz the big bucks. Now, I'm not that smart, but I feel as though we're already not really getting down the field like we need to. We're not putting up points like we need to. Maybe we should readjust our tactics. That way we can try to, get some more production going. Nah, I'm making too much fucking sense, obviously. So that didn't really happen. The good thing about the Eagles, especially with the offense, got to give it to Carson Wentz. No turnovers yesterday. So I see an improvement in that because he was able to protect the ball. And he was he tried to force a couple passes. I'm not too fond of that, but I really just don't like the play calling. It's something about the play calling. Something about Doug Peterson's play calling that just irks me to my core. For example, the 4th and 3rd, I think it was the 4th and 3rd play. We ran a wide receiver screen. I think it was like a little bubble screen to Jalen Reagor. Granted, we got the conversion. That was the one 4th down play that we actually did, successfully attempt. But outside of that, nothing. Fam, the playbook it's out in the open. The jig is up. The drought is over. People know what we're gonna do. The Giants knew how to line up against us. They knew when to blitz against us. They knew how to pressure Carson Wentz in the proper way. And fucking Bradbury, yo man, that motherfucker right there. It was one play I was butthurt on, but if I go back and watch it, I'm probably gonna see that he actually did everything the right way. So the Giants, they fair and square, earned their fucking victory. They know shit did. I can't say anything else to that. I had to give them fucking shout outs for that. And another thing I can complain about towards the Eagles is the fact that the discipline's not there. We came off a bye week to lose to the Giants. We gave up 11 penalties. 11 penalties for 74 yards off of a fucking bye week. Daniel Jones was he was hard counting the shit out of us. I don't know how we allowed that to happen. I'm glad the Eagles decided to, have some discipline. I think about halfway through the game, but it's the fact that yo fam, why are you putting yourself in this situation to begin with? That doesn't make any sense to me. But I'm not going to trip over that. What I am going to trip over, I'm not going to continue to trip over that. What I am going to continue to trip over is the fact that for some fucking reason we couldn't get good yardage for our offense to start at. I think we didn't start past the 25 once in this game. For some fucking reason, nobody wanted to do a fair catch. Nobody wanted to just catch the ball and wave their hand. Wave their hand, catch the ball. That simple. Nobody wanted to do that shit. Every fucking time. Whether it was not just Boston Scott, somebody else, can't remember his name, can't remember his number either, but they would get out the way. The ball, whoever the punter is for the Giants, pay that man because the ball always ended up within the 10. Carson Wentz had next to no chance almost the entire game. Now, with that being said, there were some times where he did just straight up miss some people, or there were some things that he couldn't connect on, whether it's a deflection, I don't know if I could really blame him for that, but just some plays I'm not the most fond of. So I'm not going to harp on him like that because I'm not fond of Doug Peterson's play calling. I feel like right now the best thing for us is to bring in an offensive coordinator. Bring in somebody to take off the load. That way Doug Peterson can go back to looking at the big picture because there's something wrong with this team. And I get it. We barely had our true O-line. Or we barely had consistent O-line starters. All well fine and good. We had a lot of injuries. All well fine and good. Carson Wentz isn't really doing that good. Look, doing that good. We paying the man a lot of money. Come on now. I need the team to come together on something. Whether it's something going on behind the scenes and that's causing them to have this kind of dysfunction on the football field, or whether it truly is fucking, look, somebody just don't like some people's leadership styles. I really don't want to put it on that because you don't hear anything like that coming out of the locker room right now. It's just like, what's going on? There has to be something concrete going on that nobody's really talking about. Now, with all that fussing out the way, I'm going to give a quick shout out because I watched the game for a little bit. I watched all the way up until the fourth quarter when I saw that how it was about to go down. Shout out to the Patriots yesterday. Patriots played against the Ravens. Let me go and pull up the stats on that real quick because I was actually proud. So my thing with the Patriots, as much as I couldn't stand this team before this season, only reason why I root for the Patriots is because I want to see Cam Newton shine. I really want to see that man shine because of the way Carolina did him. Now, we're not going to talk about how he performed in a Super Bowl, where he got fucking put on an island and completely the team got shit kicked out of them. We're not going to talk about that. What we are going to talk about, however, is this man Cam Newton already has like this sense of pressure put on him. I think I saw like a couple weeks back where he had a moment, or he had a interview where he basically told himself, he was like, yo man, you get put on the bench like that if you keep playing like this. And that's just not, that to see him already have this mindset with how many games they in the season. So they have a 4-5 record right now. So they're 9 games into the season, and I saw this a few weeks ago. So I'd say around week 6, week 7 maybe. You already got this mindset, and he's on a 1-year deal. I see it. I understand it. I see it. So Cam Newton went 13 for 17, 118 yards, and he got a touchdown himself. He didn't throw for 2. I think, somebody else threw for a touchdown as well. Fucking shout out to Cam Newton for figuring it. So for figuring it out, especially against the Ravens. I got to give you credit for that. The 6-2 Ravens are now 6-3. Hey man, I want to see Lamar shine, but Cam Newton needed a little bit of love for this one, especially from the Patriots fans, because as a Celtics fan, I understand the New England intensity. Never been to New England. I never have been. But I see it. I see it from a distance away. From talking to coworkers who are huge New England fans, whether it's Boston, whether it's the Red Sox, whether it's Patriots. I see the intensity. I respect it. I respect it. Look, I love it for the Celtics. Respect it for the Patriots. I know nothing of baseball, which is why I don't talk about baseball. So, let's go ahead and push on. Still in sports, but I've been missing this one. You can tell. Look, I've been trying to just breeze through sports because I've been trying to survive. The NBA is back, or at least the offseason is. So, damn, it's good to just say those words. NBA is back. Almost. So, real quick, I'm going to bring up the what was put out about, I think it was Woj. Yeah, so Woj put out a tentative schedule. So, from what it looks like, December 22nd is going to be the opening night. So, hold on. Wait a minute. Let me make sure I'm getting you accurate information because I really, really don't want to mess this one up. So, let me see when I want to make sure I have the right information for you. Because I could have sworn basketball was about to start back a lot sooner. No, that is right. So I am right. See, I got fact check myself. So December 22nd, NBA opening night, and the schedule was released. So the crazy thing about this is it looks like it's gonna kind of sort of try its best to stay on track to what it was with the return of the season, where we finished with the NBA Finals in the middle of the summer. How that's going to bode for other sports, we don't really know because from, hearsay here and there, people saying the ratings were down. Cage doesn't know anything about it because I didn't look into it because I love basketball for the sake of basketball. I love watching basketball players play. I'll get on Instagram and watch anybody play basketball, whether it's high school students, boys, girls, everything else under the sun. If it's basketball, if somebody can dribble the ball, I'm fucking watching. So with that being said, I'm going to watch regardless, especially to see my Boston Celtics get to banner number 18 because I'm still not happy that the Lakers are tied with us. Yo, shout out to my cousin Ant because I used to fucking hold that shit over his head heavily. But the crazy thing that I want to go ahead and bring up around this time. Why I brought up the schedule in the first place because we got a new thing that it seems like it might stick around for a little bit. We'll see how this goes. So May 17th to May 21st is a play-in tournament for seeds 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, to give some type of reference to that, this series or this play-in tournament is going to play out just like how the Trailblazers and the Memphis Grizzlies went down last within the bubble, and not just them, but the. This is the roster for the Trailblazers. No, Siri, stop. Shut up. Mind your business. Look, I'm sorry about that. That shit scared the hell out of me. But it's probably going to play out a lot like how with the Phoenix Suns. That's where I was. So Phoenix Suns, the Trailblazers, and Memphis Grizzlies. The Phoenix Suns were the only team to go 8-0. I mean, they still managed. They still just happened to miss the playoffs. I don't want to throw shade at them because we about to talk about what they just did. So they're going to include this now. I think to make things a little more competitive, especially because the season's a little more condensed. I can't wait because I love seeing high level basketball. I want to see like these stars be stars again. I need that shit. I need it injected in my veins. And by now the season will already be like not close to half. Well, no, maybe we'll start getting a little close to halfway through. It's been a year and everything's been thrown out of whack. So we got the schedule out, and as of today, I think the offseason has begun. Or not today, but yesterday. Yesterday is when some of the news started breaking out. Today was when some things started popping off. So the first thing I'm going to talk about, first thing I want to mention is Chris Paul being traded to the Phoenix Suns. So Chris Paul ended up being traded to the Phoenix Suns. And I had, damn, Cage. Look, I'm fucking up. I'm sorry. So I had all the players that he was traded for. Because I saw this shit at work and I said, oh God. Hold on. Let's talk about that right there. Where the fuck is it? All right, so here we go. A couple things. So Chris Paul was traded for, I think it was Chris Paul and somebody else. That's why I'm trying to pull up the article. That way I can give you the full lowdown and skinny. Because it wasn't just Chris Paul. Yeah, so Chris Paul and Abdel Nader were traded to the Phoenix Suns for Ricky Rubio, Kelly Oubre, Ty Jerome, Jalen Leck, and a 2022, say that 3 times fast, first round pick. All right, so with all that being said, let's go ahead and unpackage this a little bit. Yo, when I fucking tell you, I'm not afraid of this team just yet because I got to see it in action, but this is a team to be worried about. If I'm over there in the West, this seems like off rip, at the very least, I can see this being the 8th seed, at the least. So I have to give credit where credit is due. Monty Williams, I think that is the current head coach for the Phoenix Suns. You know, I got a fact check, so let me see. Yeah, so Monty Williams, the head coach of the Phoenix Suns, he did his best to get the team to where they were. They were in a position to make the playoffs. Unfortunately, they weren't able to because of basically the play-in tournament that they were in and the fact that the Trailblazers came out and ended up in the 8th seed. Damian Lillard willed their way in there. Now, the reason why I'm a little stressed about this team is because Chris Paul proved that he can still carry a team. Chris Paul, at the very least, I'm not gonna say carry. Let me retract my words. Chris Paul can still lead a team. Chris Paul can still guide a team. He can take these younger players and he has so much basketball IQ to where I'd say he almost like ages them by a year, maybe 2. SGA is balling. He was balling out the mind frame, and the fact that SGA and Dennis Schroeder were putting in good work under Chris Paul's leadership. Somehow, some way, OKC wasn't supposed to go nowhere, and they still ended up in the playoffs. And then they took the Houston Rockets. It took James Harden's defense to get the Houston Rockets to the second round. or not. Yeah, to the second round. I almost said the third round. So, with all that being said, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, and Devin Booker. Devin Booker is, God, Devin Booker is a fucking problem. I almost fell to my death. He is a motherfucking problem, and then some. DeAndre Ayton, he had a little bit of a snafu, but I feel like this team right here might be something to worry about next season. Like I said, at the very least, they're going to be the 8th seed. I really do hope, I can knock on wood now, hope that Chris Paul can stay as healthy as possible. I hope, I hope all the players stay as healthy as possible because I really want to see this team shine. It's been a long time since Phoenix was in any conversation. So I'd like to see that. I want to see Devin Booker's work be paid off. Granted, he don't like to be double teamed in the offseason. Just a little jokey joke right there. And then, honest and truthfully, OKC doesn't even seem that bad off. I want to see if SGA is going to step up as a leader. I want to see what they're going to go with that. The fact that SGA is still there, it shows me that OKC might have some type of faith in them. And the players that they traded for, they all seem to be like within a relative young age to where they can still like either they can keep them and do something with it or they can just, sell them off if they need to. And then they still got a buttload of picks. So we don't know what they're going to do with that right there. I think that's a really good trade for both teams. Both teams seem like they're going to do something with it. Now, for a team that Chris Paul used to belong to, let's talk about the Rockets real quick. What the hell's going down with the Rockets? What happened in Houston, man? What y'all got going on? Yo, what happened? Russ wants out. James Harden wants out. Now the thing with James Harden, Russ, we'll see how that goes because I don't really know how. I can't speak to how confident I am in Russ going to like the Clippers and shutting shit down. But the fact that James Harden wants to leave and has listed the Brooklyn Nets and the Philadelphia 76ers as his top picks to go, yo! Alright, as a Celtics fan, I'm already on the fence about the East. And the fact that we got to go against Kyrie and KD with the Nets. James Harden, I'd rather see Kyrie, KD, and James Harden than James Harden and Joel Embiid. Honest and truthfully. Because James Harden will shoot a fucking 3. James Harden and Joel Embiid and Doc Rivers as the coach. Ooh. Look. Oh, shit. Honest and truthfully, the fact that James Harden is on the market, as a Celtics fan, I got to say I would love to see him. Somebody that can get you 36 on a nightly basis, that's something that you can't really pass up. I'm afraid of the ball movement when it comes down to that because James Harden has to have the ball in his hands. Granted, we've seen Jason Tatum as a catch and shoot. He can knock it down. Kemba Walker, hopefully his knee's feeling better because I know he can knock down shots like that. He definitely moves much better than Kyrie did with us off the ball. Now, we'll see where we go with that, but I just want to know what the hell Houston's got going on. I'm interested to see how this will play out. I'm very interested. Now, what we're going to talk about next, I got to get into this real quick because before I get into the Celtics, let me talk about the champs, the defending champs. AD, it looks like he opted out of his contract. Yeah, so AD's about to be a free agent. Rondo's about to be a free agent, and then KCP just declined his player option. And it also looks like Avery Bradley's being shopped around. He's not being shopped around for a trade. It looks like he's shopping around. He's trying to see like what teams are interested in him, and it looks like he's gonna get some attention. Honestly, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it for a fucking second. I think AD's still gonna be a fucking Laker. I think at this point AD is either he's trying to get more monies or I can't see anywhere else he's gonna go. I can't see. Why would you give up a good thing that you got going on? You and LeBron already made it to the finals. You took down the Nuggets, who just went back to back, came back 3-1, down 3-1 leads. Yo, fam, y'all just beat the Miami Heat. I don't see why he wouldn't ride the wave. And I can't speak to the mentality, the mindset, because I like to hear that from the player before I come up here and I start making all these assumptions and accusations and saying, I was talking to somebody in his camp. Nah, man, I ain't really interested in that. I would like to know why anybody would want out of that situation right now, because obviously people thrive under LeBron's leadership. People prefer LeBron's leadership. We've heard it. We've seen it. We've heard other people talk about it. So I'm a little curious as to what's going on with that. Comment why you think that might be, because Cage is interested. Now, regarding the Celtics, this is a little bit of a headache for me. Not only do we need to try and figure out how the hell we're about to get James Harden, some big name player, or at the very least, we need a veteran. We need a veteran, somebody who can come off the bench. That'll be like the most ideal thing right there because, granted, we did have a good, consistent source of play from Daniel Tice and sometimes Enes Kanter. I would love to see Rob Williams come up some more. What happened against Bam Adebayo, though? Man, look, Bam Adebayo kicked our ass. He kicked our ass, and I think with Rob, I have a lot of faith in Rob Williams because he can pass. The motherfucker has bounce. He can volleyball spike all the fucking basketballs he wants to. He has like this slight immaturity to him, and not in his character, just in the fact that he'll still jump for some pump fakes. That's what I mean by that. And I think this is only his second year, so obviously it's gonna get better with time. I'm not expecting him to be an all-star right here, right now. I would just like to see the Boston Celtics give him more of a chance. And yo, man, why do we have Taco? Why do we have Taco if we're not gonna do anything with him? I would love to figure that out. That's just me. Taco's big as shit, but he moves fairly well. We'll see where that goes from there. I don't know. I legitimately don't know. I'm trying to figure that out as we go. But I just wanted to talk about that real quick because, like I said, the season's getting started. The offseason is here. So we'll see how the week plays out because shit's popping off left and right. Shit's popping off left and right. All right. Let's see what we about to get into next. I feel like we've been talking for a good little minute. Yeah. It's nice to be back in the hot seat. I'm not going to lie to you. I miss it. I enjoy being in the hot seat. Hell yeah. Okay, you guys. All right, welcome back. Let's go ahead and keep going with the episode. So, we got into, all the cool kid stuff, right? We got into some cool kid stuff. Y'all ready for this nerd shit? Yo, let's fire up that nerd shit and let's get going. Okay, all right. So, we going to fire this bitch up. So, shout out to my people. Shout out to James Davies once again. Shout out to Eric Yand once again. And shout out to anybody who talked to me about Star Wars. Because I did it. I made y'all proud. I finally watched The Mandalorian. I see why all the hype is there. I watched the first episode. I only watched the first episode because I wanted to give you my fucking raw thoughts because I'm a fucking I barely know anything about Star Wars, but when I tell you, I understood why people liked it. Yo, where to fucking begin? Before we even get into the story, that shit really was cool as fuck. Like the way that the motherfucker walks into the room, the one-liners that he drops, that shit was fucking hard. Like yo, that part where he's literally in a room with fucking stormtroopers, and they're holding him at gunpoint. He's got it back at them in a Mexican standoff, and they're like, "We got you 4-1." And all this motherfucker says, "I like those odds. I fucks with it. Let's go. Fucking, what was another dope ass line that he said? I wrote that bitch down. Oh, look at the beginning where he shows the dude the puck. It shows that there's a bounty on his head. And this dude starts trying to talk his way out of it. And he looks at him. He just shows him that blast. He says, "I can take you in warm, or I take you in cold. Don't say shit else." And then dip. Bro, that shit was fucking hard. That's that shit I need injected in my veins. Let's go. Now, I gotta admit, before any of this, Cage with his very, 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 very minute amount of information on Star Wars. I know shit thought that was Boba Fett. When I first heard about the show years ago, I legit thought, I was like, oh shit, they about to finally have that show about Boba Fett I've been hearing about, because even I heard that Boba Fett survived the pit monster in Return of the Jedi. Like they knew it was a trash way to go, so they brought it back, and like I guess in the comics and said that he survived. So I'm like, okay, bet we getting a Boba Fett show, but I guess it's not really the case. So little bit of context within the show, because Cage is late to the show but ready to go. So in the show, it takes place after episode 6, from what I'm gathering. So the Empire has fallen. And the Mandalorian, this dude he's out and about, and he's just bounty hunting, trying to make his way, trying to survive. Now, what it looks like the issue is that there's barely any money within the underground, because my boy Apollo Creed shows up. Apollo Creed tries to give him like $2 or whatever the fuck worth of money, and he's like, yo, this can't get me shit. And he tries to give him Imperial credit, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna give you these. And he's like, what the fuck, the Empire fell, ain't nobody finna take this bullshit. They can't even cover gas. I can't even get gas on this shit. So, it didn't really work out too well. But where the story is, the Mandalorian's a bounty hunter. Bounty hunter's like, all right, bet, I'm trying to go make this money real quick. All right, cool. So he goes talk to Apollo Creed, like I just mentioned. And then from there, he's like, all right, I want a job. I want a job that pays real money. So he's like, all right, cool. I got this one job off the books. As soon as you hear off the books, you know what's up. Off the books, no puck, no paper trail, nothing like that. So he sends them like on his way to go find the people to go talk to about this. So it turns out when he goes to talk to these people, the Mandalorian ends up running into these stormtroopers. So it looks like whatever remnants are left of the Empire from what Cage is gathering. All right, that's all well fine and good. Now, when he agrees to go on this hunt, he talks to the dude, and the dude's like, all right, I don't care. Whatever, however you bring it back is how you bring it back. Dead or alive, don't matter to me. And he says, fucking bet. Now from there, a couple interesting things happen where he lands on this planet, immediately gets fucking jumped by this big piranha looking motherfucker with legs. And it was like two of them bitches. And this one thing that, no shit, it looked like a bulldog with face that just kept saying, I have spoken. Hardest motherfucker. I like that line. I have spoken. I'm gonna say that to my wife. We'll see how that works out. I'll let you guys know how that works out. If I get a fucking black eye on the next podcast, you know what happened. Fucking, he meets him, and old boy teaches, like, he tells him, like, yo man, I'll take you where you need to go. All I want in return is one of them blurgs that you helped me catch. And he's like, okay, bet. You can have both them bitches. Just give me like some type of fucking bike or whatever so I can get to the place. And he's like, nah, fam, you need one of them blurgs. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because within this small scene of him trying to figure out how to ride the blurg, you start to see some personality come out. He starts off the episode just like with barely saying anything, couple one-liners here and there, but he's mostly saying silent. Now he's actually, he's talking a little bit. Not only is he asking for information, but he's trying to figure out what the hell to do, where the hell to go, and how the hell to get on this damn blurg. So I like that. I like the fact that his personality's kind of showing, and he's not just the strong, silent, stoic character. I like that we're getting a little bit of characterization to him. Now, on top of that, the dude, don't know his name, sorry, but he mentioned something. He's like, you're a Mandalorian. Your people used to ride fucking, what did he say? What did he say? He said, your people used to ride the Mythosaur. And as soon as he says that, he's like, all right, bet, let me get my shit together. And he like walks up to it. He does the, the easy, let's sniff his hand. He's like, all right, bet, I'm on top. So he tamed that bitch right then and there. So I don't know too much about the Mandalorian race. I'm gonna go with what the show is telling me, but that right there, I have no idea what to think with that. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. We'll see what Star Wars has to teach me. So any Star Wars nerd, help a brother out. Try to explain to me why they are that way, because I know it's in a galaxy far, far away, but like, are these people just naturally one with nature like that? Are they just good with animals? Like, what kind of traits are there? What, are they hunters from Hunter x Hunter? Because all Hunter x Hunters are, all the hunters from Hunter x Hunter are just good with animals. So look, let it be some bullshit like that. So what ends up happening after that, when he makes it to the encampment where he has to find like this fucking the package or whatever, he just has a tracking beacon. What he ends up seeing is a bounty droid show up. This motherfucker is raw. Like, yo, fam. He just walks up and he says, give me the shit. Like the droid, and they say, nah, fuck off. And the droid says, all right, bet. And he just starts shooting motherfuckers. Just rotating, just left and right, letting motherfuckers have it. Turn his torso and just pow. Headshots, all of them. Raw shit ever. So, once again, more personality shows up because, like, now you get a couple funny moments between the Mandalorian and the droid. Now, what I'm paying attention in the episode is he keeps mentioning how, like, he has, like, it seems like he has a disdain towards the droids. Whether it's the droid from the beginning on this, like, hovercraft thing that took him on, like, that was supposed to go take him back to his ship, he said no droids. He paid extra just to not have a droid. To this, now he has, like, it seems like there's a disdain, so maybe we'll find out some more within the backstory whenever we get to that. It's only 8 episodes, so that means you can retain my attention. I'm with it. I'm fucking with it. But lo and behold, after all that, the Mandalorian and the droid work together. They use, some pretty good chemistry, honestly, to try and take out everybody. They get to a motherfucking blaster Gatling gun, and they find a way to get everybody out the paint. And they reach the package, and just as everybody else has said, the package ends up being a little baby Yoda. Now, with all that being said, I'm late to the show. I'm trying to gather as much information as I can on this because, this really it does look interesting, and I can't wait to find out more and more about it. The most I know is that the lady from Deadpool, the one that fights Colossus, she's in this. Fucking Gus from Breaking Bad is in this, so I gotta watch it. And fucking turns out the Mandalorian is the Viper. So I don't know, like, the last time I saw the Viper, he got his fucking head crushed in by the mountain. So it's nice to, see him but not see him at the same time. Now, with all that being said, I enjoyed the show. I like the way that the show looks. It's fucking beautiful, and it looks great on a decent-sized TV. But it really does look beautiful compared to the older iterations of Star Wars that we originally got in, like, the 70s. Honestly, truthfully, I saw those when I was, young in the 2000s. So I also saw the prequels at the same time. So going back and watching those and watching this new shit that we get now, woo, it looks more and more dated the more you flip-flop. But overall, I enjoyed the show. I'll definitely keep watching. Hell, I might fuck around and finish the damn season. We'll see how it goes. It's only 8 episodes, like I said. I can't wait to keep watching and giving it a try. So the next thing I want to talk about, I watched a couple other things. I watched My Hero Academia 2 Heroes because I finally found it in English dub. But not a lot happened enough for me to talk about it or want to talk about it. It was cool to see All Might in his younger form fucking shit up. But outside of that, nothing much. It looks like it took place between the sports festival and the Stain arc. So, not a lot really happened there. Actually, I take it back. It had to have happened after the Stain arc because we see Midoriya use full cowling. So that alone, like that, all right. Now Cage is tracking. So I'd say, like, maybe Stain arc and fucking that summer camp arc. Maybe. But like I said, not a lot really happened. I mean, it was beautiful to watch. It was dope seeing Midoriya and All Might fight together. It was something that we never get in the actual canon. But the reason why I don't really want to talk about this is because maybe we could do this as a discussion with some of these anime. A lot of anime that we watch, they don't take place within the story. If there's a manga and there's an anime movie, you can expect it not to be canon. For example, Naruto, the first movie, Naruto, the second movie, Naruto, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, all of them, not canon. Bleach, Fade to Black, Diamond is... Nah, not Diamond is Unbreakable. My bad, wrong TV show. Fucking Diamond Dust Rebellion, that was another one. Like, none of these are really canon. But then you get to Goat Piece. Goat Piece, I had a discussion about this one because Goat Piece, in my opinion, Goat Piece is canon because the creator is heavily involved in the process of making this. Fucking the fact that the creator of One Piece actually wrote Strong World, Z, Gold, and Stampede, I think that's within the canon. Now, we don't know exactly where in the timeline it is. We just know that it's canon. To that, like, another one that I say is canon because it is canon, the creator said it, is Dragon Ball Super Broly. We know where that one is because they said, all right, this takes place after the Tournament of Power. All well, fine and good. But just because we have a spot in the timeline, like, I go off of the creator's words. The creator's the one who made the story. If you wrote this shit for your story, guess what that tells me? It's fucking canon. So, like I said, I'm not going to harp on those too quick. I've been watching Higurashi When They Cry, the new version, because the most I know from the old one is that it's graphic as fuck. It's gory. It's like, it's supposed to be like this murder mystery, but the first 2 episodes, I'm like, yo, what the fuck am I watching? Because 1 second, it's like, oh shit, it's dark. Motherfuckers is dead. These motherfuckers like knocking each other off. Oh shit's wild. And then the next second, it's like slice of life. And honestly, dog, slice of life isn't my isn't really up my alley. It's nice to detach and get that escapism, and then, you just see the random day-to-day life. If I want to watch a nice slice of life, I'll just watch Boruto. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not my bread and butter. It's not something I'm too fond of. So there's a little bit of a disconnect. But I guess with Higurashi, from what I'm gathering, it's like it's trying to give you that false sense of security. Trying to lull you to sleep, like make you think, oh yeah, this shit is sweet, right? Yeah. These big-eyed kids ain't finna fuck each other up, and then they fuck each other up, and now you're like, oh shit, you just fucked each other up. It ain't really hitting like that. Not to me at least. If it's hitting to you, then I'm not finna hold you to it. Like, yo man, if you like it, I love it. Fuck it. Go forth to do great things. I'm proud of you. But what we will start to wrap this episode up with, we will start to talk about a whole lot of that shit we about to talk about right now. We about to talk about a whole bunch of fucking manga. So I'm going to start with the last one, just to switch things up. Now, I've done this before, where we talk about manga. What I try to do is I'm going to give this, I try to get through like at least the first arc, where I read it, experience it for the first time, and then I come to the cast and I talk about it and I tell you about, all these different things that's happening, where I'm at and what I like. Kind of keep it consistent like that. And we did this for the last few episodes. We were doing this with Kingdom. So the next one we're going to talk about, I love my tangents. So the next one we're going to talk about comes from a live stream that I watched recently. So I watched a tournament bracket of the top manga of 2020, like which one was number one, and it had basically the who's who of manga reviewers from what I saw. Starting with my boy King of Lightning. The reason why, my favorite out of everybody, King of Lightning, Rogers Base, Masked Man, Sunpatch 94, fucking Sensei Inc. Who else is there? The who's who, like Project Manga, even the lesser known ones that you can tell are going to come up, because when you go to their channel, these motherfuckers are good. And they can break shit down a hell of a lot better than me. Like, Cage is learning, he's trying, but they had a 4-hour live stream and I had to break that shit up and watch that shit in increments. But they had some I disagreed with, they had some I agreed with. But one big thing that surprised me was the fact that this one just shot up out of nowhere to me. And that one is Jujutsu Kaisen. Now, with Jujutsu Kaisen, I tried to read this before. I read the first chapter and I just lost interest halfway through the chapter. But now that I have a different system for how I read and engage in manga, because I try to come back here and I let you know what I got going on. It's almost like, it's not that I'm trying to sell it to you, but I'm trying to relate it to you. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. I'm talking to myself, so I don't know if that makes sense. Give me feedback. But with Jujutsu Kaisen, I tried to read it before. It didn't really work out too well. So when I picked it up again this time, and I sat there and truly went through every single thing, reading it, make sure I understood what was going on. This might be the shit. This 5 chapters in and I'm enjoying it. So Jujutsu Kaisen, off rip, to me, it's like a fucking a Bleach meets Mob Psycho 100 meets Parasite, all wrapped up into one. Plus maybe, what would I even call this one? Because I kind of want to say Harry Potter, then I kind of want to say Demon Slayer. So I'm gonna give you context for all this. So I'm gonna break it down like this. For those who have seen Jujutsu Kaisen, who've already seen it, I say Mob Psycho 100 because literally they both had 2 fucking clubs where nobody really wanted to join. It was just nerds who just enjoyed it for what it was. So in Jujutsu Kaisen, it's the supernatural occult club. In Mob Psycho, I think it's the paranormal activity, something like that club. 1. Bleach, yo, no shit, dog. Hollows, curses. This one kid who looks like he should have orange hair. This other kid, I think, with peach hair, kinda. I don't know, but with this kid, he doesn't have this set goal. He doesn't say, I'm gonna go be king of the pirates, I'm gonna go be Hokage. I'm gonna be Hokage. He's just entering high school. He's just living his life, going through day by day, just like that. Something simple, you know what I'm saying? And that's what reminds me of Ichigo. Ichigo literally was a teenager in high school who is just making it through life. He's not in this world where he has yo man, I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna be the leader of this right there and this, that, and the third. He's not in anything like that. He's in a place, yes, it's fiction, but at the same time, He doesn't have anything to aspire towards like that. He's just like any other teenager, just making his way through high school. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm picking up with Yuji off rip. Then I said Parasite because in this story, you know, I'm gonna get into that a little bit. So when I say Parasite, you might be able to pick up on that one right there. I will go over it once I continue on. So let's go ahead and get into some of these talking points now. Off rip, Yuji Itadori is the motherfucking DK Metcalf of the goddamn show. This kid is a natural born phenom. Like in the fucking show, when he's hanging out with this club, the track and field coach says, "Nah, fam, I seen you. I'm changing your shit. You're in the track and field club now. And if you don't like it, you got to beat me in a competition." So he thinks Yuji is just a sprinter. So what he does, he tries to set him up for the fucking fail, and he takes a shot put. And he's like, "All right, I challenge you to a shot put match." So he throws that bitch 14 yards. I don't know if that's fucking far for shot put. Cage has no knowledge on that whatsoever. But to me, that ball looked heavy as shit. I guess it's fucking, I guess that's a lot. So he's like, all right, yeah, 14 meters. Good luck, kid. I don't think you can beat that. He's a fucking sprinter. Of course he shouldn't be able to beat that. Guess what Yuji does? He beats the shit out of that. This motherfucker clutches the goddamn shot put, and he just yanks it, like, tosses that bitch, yeets that motherfucker, gone into a damn soccer goal, beats the shit out of him, and he just takes off going somewhere else. Now, with all that, he ends up attracting the attention of this dude named Fushidori, so we're going to talk about him in a second. What ends up happening, Yuji goes, and he goes to visit his grandpa who's in this hospital. Now, in this hospital, his grandpa is all alone. Nobody else comes to visit him. It's just Yuji. And even when he's there, his grandpa will try to talk to him about his parents. Yuji tells him off rip, "I don't want to hear none of that shit. Nope. I don't want to hear that. Talk about something else. Off top." Now, when this happens, you know, his grandpa, you know, he tries to get to him. He don't really want to. So he makes a comment. Can't remember what he said, but his grandpa basically had like an Uncle Ben moment that stuck with Yuji for what seems to be the rest of the series, where he says, "Help people," or as I paraphrase, "Help people when you can. Don't die alone like me." And Yuji is sad about his grandpa's death, but he says it, you know, it hasn't hit me yet. And it's like he's not even going to get allowed, or from what I'm seeing, 5 chapters in, it's not like he's being allowed to truly emote how he feels, because he is sad that his grandpa died. But as soon as he goes down to talk to the nurse, I think to sign out or whatever, Fushidori shows up, because Fushidori is, you know, an experienced jujutsu sorcerer who has been trying to track down this special grade object. I think that's all it's called. So Fushidori's been trying to track it down. He already went to the school to try and find it. He can't find it, but he feels something coming from Yuji. So he followed Yuji to the hospital, but didn't go into his grandpa's room. So Fushidori tracks him down. He meets him. He starts talking to him. He's like, "Yo, fam, I'm looking for this thing. It looks like this. I heard you said you found it." And Yuji's like, "Yeah, I found it. You know, here you go." And he's like, "Wait, there's nothing in there." And he's like, "Oh yeah, well, me and the other kids from the Supernatural Occult Club, we're supposed to open it tonight." And he's like, "Oh fuck, those kids are fucking dead if we don't hurry up and get there." So these two, they go ahead, they get back to the school right as the kids open that bitch up. Yuji gets told to stay behind. Fushidori takes lead, right? So he goes in there. Off top, he sees all these demons. And he's like, "Don't worry, I'm gonna handle you bitches." So he, I guess, activates his incantation, which summons these demon dogs. Now, for those of y'all who were old like Cage, if you're old like me, and you look at the white dog, don't that look like a Matarasu from Okami? If I'm wrong as fuck, let me know. But that one kind of has that look to it. I think I'll be seeing references. It's not really supposed to be there, but they there. So it's references to me. Now, he summons these demon dogs. Demon dogs take care of shit like that. Gone. Off rip. But then when how to put this? So Fushidori ends up running into like this main demon that just keeps acting for the time, but it's like absorbing not just the finger, but it's absorbing Yuji's two friends into it. Yuji literally jumps up to the 4th floor. This is a fucking human, no special powers. He's just a fucking phenomenon. He just jumps up to the 4th floor and just motherfucking dynamic entries his way into that bitch. And he tries to fight the damn thing, but he can't really do anything against it. So what ends up happening, Yuji's incantation runs out. And now, Fushi his incantation runs out, and now he's getting tossed around like a rag doll. Yuji, he can't really attack. He can only defend and avoid. So after a while, he starts getting thrown around like a rag doll. So what he ends up saying is, Fushi lets him know only a curse can exercise a curse, or something along those lines. My bad. I probably should have wrote that one down. Let's fact check. All right. Yeah. Here we go. So, can't see curses. Yeah. Come on down. All right. There we go. So yeah, a curse can only be exercised by another curse. So what Yuji says, he says, you know what? Fuck it. And he decides to eat the fucking finger looking thing, and he gains these fucking powers. And he literally just like takes his hand and then just like bitch slaps the fucking this big ass curse looking thing, and he kills the shit out of it. Now with that being said, he ends up like being possessed, but at the same time he's not really possessed. From there, he's conversing with this demon or with this curse that is now within his body, and he explains to Fushi he still has control over it. It's just annoying because he can hear the guy's voice. So from that right there, that's all within the first chapter. Dope ass fucking first chapter. Now that I'm fucking sitting there reading it, but a couple rules behind some of the things. For example, like let's go with the curses. So these curses have it's very like. It's kind of like what you see in these supernatural movies. If somebody has like a lot of regret, a lot of negative emotion, anger, pain, things like that, they're going to manifest these curses. Kind of like, you know, the evil spirits and shit like that. Now, with all that being said, they try to stick to more populated areas. So you'll typically find them in schools, or kids are stressing out over tests, or like high school problems, teenagers. Or you'll find them at like fucking, you know, really populated areas from what I'm gathering. But you gotta fucking have some type of, you know, affiliation with these different things in order to just see it, or you have to have like some type of strong spiritual presence, because it's something that we're gonna talk about later. Now, with all that being said, as soon as Yuji gets his starts talking to the thing, Fushi lets him know like, hey man, you gotta die. Not only do you gotta die, you got to go, because you're now a curse. You have to be exorcised. Then some dude named Goju shows up. Gojo. I said Goju. No, not Goku and Ju. Goju. Goju shows up. It turns out Goju's a teacher. I thought this motherfucker was like a classmate of theirs. He looks young. So this cold ass motherfucker shows up, and he is fucking having the time of his life. He just came from getting him some sweets, and he was like, what the fuck you got going on over here, kiddo? So what is explained to Yuji when he wakes up, he's like, all right, I'm gonna let you know now. You have to die. Because of Jujutsu protocol, you have to go. You're going to die. Now the question is, because you ate that thing, it seems as though your body can take it. This only happens once every 1,000 years. So do you want to die now, or do you want to die after you eat 20,000? The in total amount of Sukunu limbs, body parts, whatever, like fingers and toes, 20. So to give context to all this, because I'm bouncing all over the place, because it really is a lot to unpackage, and I don't want to sit here and read everything that I wrote down. I want to give you like more fluid stuff, which is why I didn't just re-record the podcast. But with all this fucking where'd it go? Yeah, so let's talk about the special grade object. So it turns out that the special grade object ends up being a finger. So I probably should mention this earlier. Oops. So this is a finger that belonged to the king, the once king of demons, Ryomen Sukuna, which sounds like he's going to work like Trigon, where he's inside of Yuji's body, can't get out unless Yuji absolutely loses control. Something that we're probably going to find out. We're going to see later on in the story, but he uses this power, like Goju shows up and he tells him, all right, kid, you seem like you're cool. Fushi likes you. Let Sukunu run wild for 10 seconds. And Yuji's like, all right. So he blacks out for 10 seconds, and Sukuna takes over his body and tries to attack Goju. Goju is not fucking phased by this thing in the fucking slightest, because Goju's just raw. That's what I'm picking up on that. So as like once he sees like, okay, this kid can no shit control him. He actually can control him, and then when Goju is with him, when Yuji wakes up, he eats a second special grade object, a second one of Sukunu's fingers. He's like, all right, it's not just the body that's rejecting it. Like Yuji himself can control these. He can control Sukunu. That's what's making him so special. That's why he wants to keep him alive. That's why he's trying to. Basically, he's trying to talk to the elders. He's the elders of the Jujutsu community, saying, "Let this kid live. That way, we can use him for later. If we can collect all the pieces of Sukunu, we can kill two birds, one stone. You can still exercise as a kid and all that fun stuff, but we can finally get rid of the King of Demons." Now, I'm saying once King of Demons because, hey, yo, man, if you ain't on top of the mountain, somebody else is. So I feel like we're gonna see some fucking heartbreak later. I heard about the Shibuya incident, so I can't wait to get to that arc to see how that goes. Now, what happens after this? Fucking Goju takes Yuji all the way to Tokyo, and he says that's where you're gonna start going to school. But first, you have to get through the interview with the principal. So Principal Yaga's sitting there, and he makes like these little cute doll looking shits. But it turns out with his incantation, he can control these doll puppets to fight for him. So it looks like him and fucking Yaga and Fushi can kind of like use these like summons kind of thing like that to try and fight for him. Not necessarily a stand, but something that can like fight on his behalf. Words. Now, with all that being said, Yuji shows his conviction. So the thing with Yuji that I really want to highlight with his character, he can already take care of himself, not just with his athleticism, but with his fighting experience. Like once he, like the principal's telling him, like, yo, man, this thing will not stop fighting you. I want to know what your true intentions are. The only time you'll tell me who you truly are is when your back is against the wall. So he's like, all right, bet. He puts the fucking doll thing in a headlock. Like, he literally puts that bitch in the fucking in the sleeper's hold, trying to put it to sleep, and he's just talking to him, having a conversation, and that's how he ends up selling the principal and letting him in. And with all that being said, they fucking Goju and Yuji and Fushi end up going to go meet the third classmate of Yuji and Fushi, named. Look, I'm terrible with names. I really am. Damn, of all the fucking things I forgot to put down her name. Ooh, that's how you get canceled. Oh, man. Say her name. Come on, Cage. You gotta do better than this. Let me see if I can find it real quick. There you go. Nobara. Nobara. Oh, is it Kugisaki? I really hope it's Kugisaki. Yeah, so it's Nobara. Alright, so Nobara is a country girl who makes her way to the city because, according to her, she just wants to get the fuck out of the country. She wants to move to the city. So the thing with her is that she uses these nails. Now, the thing with her nails that made some people, like, I can see how it made some people say it's like related to Hunter x Hunter is she takes the nails, she takes a hammer, she hits the fucking hammer, hits the nail with the hammers and launches them bitches at you. Once the nails are in, they hit you, right? And then it's like aura can emit from there. So either it's like an emission type of thing or it's an enhanced type of thing. But she can like use aura through that. And then another thing that she has, if she has blood, she can fucking kill you from afar, exercise any curse if she has a sample of their blood already with one of the dolls that she has. So we got an interesting trio right here. If I don't spit everywhere. We have an interesting trio off the top. I did a lot of bouncing around. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get myself focused. I might have to start breaking this up chapter by chapter. I just didn't want to sit here and read every single thing in front of you because I'm going to keep the same format as last time where I take like, all right, so we finished chapter 5 now. So I'll probably do like, it's 2 more chapters before the end of the volume. So I'm going to see where the first arc ends and then I'm going to read to there. So I'm going to do that for y'all at the very least. That way, if you do, like, I'm going to put this up as a clip on the Clips channel. And then from there, if you want to read with me, you'll be able to read with me. That way, we all can be on the same page. And when I'm doing all this jumping around shit, you'll be a little more lenient with old Cage. You know what I'm saying? Shit. I didn't realize they're about to be this damn small. So I guess the introduction arc to the to the story is the Cursed Child arc. Then the next one is the introduction arc. So maybe I'll get to. I want to at least give this. I want to give this story a chance. You know what I'm saying? So it looks like this versus Mahito. That might be a good way to stop. A good place to stop. So all the way till chapter 20. So where are we at? We're in chapter 6 right now. Let's do all the way up until. Yeah, let's go to. Look, decisions, grown folk decisions at this. This is fucking tough. Okay, that's only 8 chapters. What was that, 14 in total? So yeah, so let's do that right there. So we'll do the Cursed Womb arc, and then we'll do the Cursed Training arc. Yeah, and then from there. Yeah, that arc's going to take a minute, so the one after that. So we'll go through those arcs. That way I'm reading all the way up until chapter 20. And then if it's so fucking hype that I really want to get to the next chapter, then I'll be more than happy to do that. But I want to share this. I want to continue to share this with you guys. Because like I said, I have a lot of fucking fun doing this. So that is enough of Jujutsu Kaisen. I can't wait to get started with this. I can't wait to keep reading it. I'm enjoying Yuji right now. I wanted to start the anime actually. I was waiting for it to get an English dub, but because of the hype that I heard about, I gotta dip my toes in. I have to see what's going on with this. So we got 2 more things to talk about. If you're still sticking with me, I appreciate you. I'm here with you if you're here with me. You here with me if I'm here with you. So let's talk about this Go piece. You see, I had to like slow it down. You know, you gotta get up to the microphone. And you gotta get that bass in your voice when you talk about goat piece. You gotta say that shit right. Ooh, I get chills when I say it. Mufasa. Alright, so Goat Piece chapter 995, right? 995. We get some shit pop off in this chapter. The first thing we see in this chapter, we get a different cover page, finally. I was tired, I'm not tired of hearing people complain about it, but I don't really care too much about the cover stories. They don't really mean that much to me. So it's just a picture of Luffy trying to fucking study with the owl. Whatever. We'll move past that because we already talked about that in the reaction. Welcome to the review. So first thing we see in this chapter, this motherfucker Marco is hand and fist clashing with a Yonko off rip. But the thing that catches my eye the most about this main Marco says, I may not know what my role here is yet, but I know better than anybody else how dangerous you are. And not just that, but Marco's actually damaging Prometheus. And Big Mom asks, why am I losing to mere flames? And Marco he stunts on her. Look, he had a flex one time. Phoenix flames have special properties. Ooh, look, he knew he was finna do something. So Big Mom's like, alright, fuck all that. She grabs his motherfucker. Look, she suns him essentially. She grabs him by the fucking face and says, get him, Parasparrow. So Parasparrow's posted up. Katniss Everdeen ready to let that motherfucker go. Look at her. Look at this man over here looking like Hawkeye. So motherfucking Marco's getting choked out. Parasparrow's about to go ahead and get it done. Next thing you know, Carrot and Carrot's friend show up and they Nick Fury Parasparrow gets the mean Nick Fury, no taper, no line. He gets both them eyes taken the fuck out, and I don't think he's gonna get up too quick from that one. Yeah, Carrot cuts the shit out of him, and so does old girl, and they're both in Sulong form. So the thing with this one right here that I really want to pay attention to, or I really want people to kind of notice a little bit, is the fact that Big Mom, her eyes get wide and she says Sulongs. So she's familiar with this. Right off the top, they're telling me the Minks have been around. They've been around for a block and they're not as new as they are as new to the series. So this is maybe an ancient tribe. Big Mom's been around for a minute. So at least maybe before the Rocks, maybe she wants some people to join her fucking crew. Try and have that diversity. Ain't too mad at that. So Big Mom says, all right, fuck it. Parasparrow, you on your own, kiddo. I gotta get on down. And she tells Marco, look, man, if you want to kill me, you gonna have to do it some other time. I ain't got enough soul weapons to deal with you bitches right now. Because I think she only has Prometheus, but I thought she had Zeus, or at least yeah. I don't see Zeus right here, but we'll see how that turns out in a minute. Now, as we continue to go down, we found our boy the number 2, we see the vice captain Zoro. He's launching the 720 caliber Phoenix against Apu. Apu is still running for his motherfucking life because he knows he is the hottest commodity on the floor. So all the henchmen, even the Beast Pirates are begging Apu to just give them the antibodies because they want to live, obviously. And Apu's like, fuck all that, because if I give it to you, Queen's gonna kill me. I'd rather not. Let's not even play that motherfucking game right there. So he's dipping. This dude says, all right, bet. Y'all want to keep chasing me? Cool. So he starts launching attacks at his own fucking people, at the people he's in an alliance with. Cool moment right here. Diaz, Drake, and Zoro launch an attack at Apu. And I'm a little surprised by this. So Apu ends up pulling out some fucking tonfa. I want to say it's pronounced tonfa or tonfa. Only reason I know these weapons is because I've either seen them in Kung Fu movies or I saw them in fucking the newest Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon that and Raph uses them. So he literally, it looks like he hockeys them up and he blocks Zoro's attack. He's literally blocking them both at the same time. And Diaz Drake goes into a fucking hybrid form. So, these motherfuckers are going out. He's trying. I'll give him that. Next. Put some respect on our boys' names. So, Queen is like, yo, fuck you, Diaz Drake, you old bitch ass. As soon as we outed your punk ass, you started running to the straw hats like a hoe. And now he's smoking his cigar. Take that bitch out, and he's just looking at fucking bounty posters and shit. And he's like, all right, it's real smart to take out the second and third. And he looking at Zoro and Sanji's. Listen, man, listen. I like duality. I like both. I like Zoro and Sanji. Fuck it. I just do. So it's nice to see Sanji get a little bit of love because Zoro, because Oda been, he's been getting in some shit. He's been trolling him just a little bit. Now, the thing that caught my eye with this right here is the fact that Queen ends up saying, he mentions Judge. So he's like, they've got Judge's son among their group too. Judge Vinsmoke. He says that shit. So now I'm not the smartest kid on the block. Now, immediately, what I'm thinking right here, Queen's a scientist. Yo, shoot me if I'm wrong. Don't shoot me. Please don't shoot me. I'm trying to get this shit off the ground. But Queen is a scientist, right? I'm not going to say something about the blonde hair. So since he's a scientist and he's been around the block for a while, I think, this is just Cage, but maybe he was an apprentice underneath Judge and Vegapunk. So that's how he knows him. That's why he's surprised to see Judge's son among the group. So that's when the wheels, look, the cobwebs start coming off, or they move just a little bit with that theory right there. Then we join Brook and Chopper in the middle of the fray. Brook finds out that he's immune because he doesn't have any blood vessels. He doesn't have any skin. So Chopper's like, you ain't got to worry about shit. But it turns out that Robin notices Chopper is infected. Now, I think I really want to give the proper shout out to the proper person. I want to say BDA Law, BDA Ace, however he pronounces it, whichever one it is. Shout out to you, dog. You up there. I'm trying to come up. But he points out, he's like, Chopper probably didn't notice it because he's used to the cold. He literally came from the cold. So, of course, he's not going to notice something that's supposed to be making him cold. I thought it was because of his fur. He has, this extra, he has a thick coating of fur, so it makes sense for him not to feel it. With all that being said, we start to get into, the main part. The main thing that caught everybody's eye with this chapter. Ulti in page 1 versus Usopp and Nami. So Usopp he's trying his best, man. He really is. It looks like he's trying to keep and create distance from Ulti. So Ulti and Page 1 seem like they're close combatants, and Usopp and Nami definitely prefer long-range attacks. So they're already at a disadvantage, especially because these two are Zoan types, ancient Zoan types at that. So, they look a little bit out of their league. Fucking Usopp's attack gets eaten up by Page 1 to protect Ulti, and then his second attack decommissions Page 1 just a little bit, slows him down, but Ulti charges in full fucking throttle. And not on top of that, Ulti headbutts the fuck out of him. She hits him with an Ulti mortar. The thing I gotta give Usopp respect, I put this in the comments, fucking Usopp has no armament hockey, and yet he takes a fucking armament hockey to the fucking head from a hybrid form Ulti of an ancient Zoan. put some respect on his name. He might have got his, not just his motherfucking skull cracked, but maybe his mind too. But yo, man, you gotta give him respect for taking that hit right there, especially because he has no hockey. He has no way to protect himself. That's all durability, and he doesn't lose consciousness. Put some respect on the boy's name. Now, Nami, however, isn't in the best position herself because she's on the ground off top. So from there, Ulti just picks her up and she starts interrogating Nami, saying, "Oh, what was all that shit you was talking? I heard your captain say he was about to fuck up my captain Kaido." She's like, "You know what? Fuck that. I want you to say your captain will, like, say my captain will never be king of the pirates. Say that shit or I will fuck you up." And Nami's like, "Hey fam, I'm not trying to catch his head," but Ulti's like, "Say the shit then." So she's like, all right, I'll say it. And Usopp is there and he's damn near, like, he's conscious, but he looks like he's out of it. He's like, "Yo man, it's okay. Just lie, save yourself. There's nobody, look, I'm about to say nobody wants you to die. It is what it is." And fucking Nami, yes, she says, "My captain, Luffy, will never stop until he is king of the pirates." Said that shit to her motherfucking face. Look, Ulti's like, "Do you want to die?" And she's about to headbutt her, and she's like, Nami's like, "Yo fam, that's my fucking captain, dog. It is what it is." And then lo and behold, as soon as she says that, Tama shows up on the motherfucking big ass dog, and she bites the shit out of Ulti, which ends up saving Nami. So from what a lot of people have been saying, it looks like Tama is there to fucking shut shit down and start controlling all the Zoans. So I can't wait to see how things progress from this point. Fucking let me know how you felt about this chapter in the comments below. Please don't hesitate to do that right there. Now, there's a reason why I had to say this one. The hype that overcame my body when I watched this one. My soul was I had to let that shit out. I fucking had to yell with that one. Let's get into this My Hero Academia. Yo, fam, there was no reason for this shit to go this hard. No fucking business going this hard. Motherfuckers ain't ready for that MHA. I don't know what else to tell you, bro. Like, if you ain't on, like, if you're not savvy, you're not savvy. If you're not with it, you ain't with it. Just say you ain't with it. All right. So the chapter begins. It seems like it's an Endeavor monologue going on in his head, where he's going over. It's like he's remembering the day that Toya burned to death. He's remembering these things, and from the first image that we see, Toya is here with white hair. So this is like Toya is here with a very slight look on his face. It either looks like he has a straight face or he has a very slight smile. Like he's trying to just put on an appearance to make people feel like, like make people more at ease that he's not hurting like he describes his pain was. So in this, he describes like, all right, they said that the fire burned to over 2,000 degrees Celsius. Fucking, the body was never found. The only thing that they recovered from the scene was a fragment of his lower jawbone. And then we get an even further flashback where we see Toya still with his red hair, and Endeavor notices. He's like, "What's going on with your hair? It's turning it's turning white." And he's like, "Did you dye it or something?" And from this interaction right here, it looks like Endeavor was once a good father, because right then and there you see Toya say, "No way, I ain't some old man." Like, you see him joking around with his dad, and he has this vigor to him, this excitement, because he's excited to learn his dad's ultimate move. He's so young and he's already ready to learn the ultimate move, and you can see a proud look on Endeavor's face. And in the monologue, once again, even though he did not get the ice powers from his mom, his fire powers were better than Endeavor's at such a young age. That's wild. But that still didn't quell Endeavor's desire to create a child with the two quirks, because he still Toya still struggled with keeping his body from overheating just like his dad does. Now, I'm about to say it, so as we keep reading, he still yearned for the child, but it turns out his wife wanted more children, saying so the kids could encourage one another to do better. So after Toya came Fuyumi. Fuyumi is the daughter that we ended up seeing back at the dinner arc. So with Fuyumi, she only got the ice powers. Now, Because neither one of them had so it says neither child bore the ideal quirk I was hoping for, but at the time I was happy all the same. So Endeavor found happiness with the two kids that he had. He found happiness. He was a good dad. So that's why I'm like, yo, fam, what the fuck happened? And then it goes on, because Toya had more potential than me, I placed my ambitions on his shoulders. Ow, I thought it could be you. And now from this look right here, it looks like either, and I think this is the same day that he's trying to learn his dad's ultimate move, but you see like Toya with a burn mark on his arm. So maybe that's because he held up, so it's probably the same scene where he was like lit up the fire in his hand. Now, we get that same panel again where Endeavor is looking at like the gap between him and All Might. He's thinking like, damn man, Toya could be the one to do it and like take everything negative about him, his frustration, his envy, the ugliness in his heart, and smash it all to dust. But that just didn't happen. So now Endeavor's still in shock. He's like, yo fam, you're fucking lying. My son is dead. Take back that lie. And Toya and Dabi is just letting him have it, man. He's like, yo fam, I am right here. I am here in front of you, and you put a whole fire agency together. And not just that, the League of Villains are reacting to what he's saying. Like, Mr. Compress is saying, like, yo, man, we got, like, quite the bloodline over here. Not just Shiggy being related to Nana, but we got Dabi related to Endeavor. That's wild. And then, still going on with, Dabi's transmission, so the message that he left for everybody to watch, it shows like, hey, even if you try to deny it, I got a DNA test from some of the blood that was on the scene of that big fight in Kyushu. Hey man, 99.99% match. Maury, you can't deny it. Jerry Springer, you can't say shit. Steve Wilkos, I don't know what you want, bro. It says it, 99.99% match. Look, out of pack. Look, you gotta say it. It ain't looking too hot. Meanwhile, all this is going on. Fuyumi gets a knock on the door. So it's like she's a teacher and she's trying to teach at school, but she gets called because she has to come see this. Everybody wants her to see it. And then Natsu, I think that was the second brother's name. Yeah, so he gets told about these things too. The thing that kind of broke my heart was in this. You gotta help me remember this. So the guy who encouraged everybody to not give up on Endeavor, to not lose hope in the fight, the one that looked like Natsu from Fairy Tail, hint. I think this is him again. So he's watching everything and he's reacting. Yeah, you can tell this is the Endeavor fan because he looks like he has an Endeavor jacket behind him and a poster. So he's watching everything and he's reacting. And he's like, people ain't gonna lose faith in a hero over this. We're not that freaking stupid. Now where the ass kicking comes in is the fact that this main Dabi included the fucking film of Hawk stabbing Twice in the back while Twice was trying to escape and save his friends. The fucking heartbreak. That it's like a perfect fucking shot to get because you see the pain, the agony, and the despair within Twice's eyes as he's trying to escape him. And they're like, what hero would stab somebody in the back? Like just hyping the shit up. And when I tell you, man, this shit is getting wild, but it doesn't get any better because it turns out Dabi did some research on Hawks himself where he's like, yo, man, I did some digging myself. And it turns out that in order for Hawks to invade the Paranormal Liberation for the League of Villains, he had to kill the number 3 hero, Best Genius. Put that shit on fucking blast. Put it on the airways. And then he said, yo, man, I don't know why people are surprised when you look at who Hawks is coming from. His dad was a serial murderer and a thief and a villain. And it turns out Endeavor stopped his dad. Endeavor is the one who caught his dad. But this main Dabi, like the thing with Dabi is like he's letting everybody have it. And I think he's picking up where Shigaraki left off. Where Shigaraki had, like, I think he created the physical destruction of Hero Society. Dabi's killing this shit from a spiritual level, from an emotional level. Nobody's going to believe in heroes after what he's released and what he's showing everybody because he's showing hard proof. You're seeing the number 2 hero in Japan stab a villain in the back instead of just detaining him, which is what everybody has come to expect of these heroes. Now, with all that being said, even the fucking fan is horrified. He's horrified to see this type of shit right here. And he's like, yo, man, he's talking like he's already won. But with all this damage and destruction, it's hard not to fucking, it's hard to believe anything else. Like, how can you keep faith after seeing all this? And after all this gloating, Dabi says, I'm so glad you stuck around for the end of it. Guess what? it's time to die. So Dabi jumps off of Gigantomachia's back, and it's like he just invited Shoto and Endeavor to a big ass Agni Kai. But I don't know if they're gonna send back the invitation exception, because he jumps down and Shoto's like begging Endeavor, like, yo man, you need to get it together. We got a fight to fight. Like you have to get up. You have to do something. Move. Do something. But he's so caught up in it, he can't move. So as Dabi is about to light off his attack, he starts going flash fire fist. He's about to let these motherfuckers have it. And you see at prominence, it's like, oh, I thought he was about to prominence burn these motherfuckers to death. I was like, yo, fam, this is not looking hot in the slightest. But something happens. Best Genius for the fucking comeback. Comeback Kid decided, yo, man, don't worry about it. He ends up using these threads to calm down, and it looks like he attacks Gigantomachia at the same time, and he wraps up Dabi in the middle of his attack, wraps him up, and he apologizes. Like, yeah, he says, apologies for the delay. As of today, Best Genius is back on duty. So he might not be hyped up or ready to go, but we knew that was that motherfucker. We knew that was him, but it's so good to see him back, because now we have a little bit of hope in the situation, and because now that he is there, and I think they're airing this current fight. Hopefully they are, but the fact that Best Genius is back to life, not back to life, but back in the public, I think the public is going to look at that and they're going to question whether Dabi was lying or not. But it's not going to be a lie. I think Endeavor's done. If Endeavor survives, I think he's going to retire. He can't keep being a hero after this. Now, the best thing about this is the fact that, like, where does the Hero Society go from this point? Because I only see it in a decline. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry about that. So I see them only losing the public's favor. They lost the public's faith in them. They lost the public's love. They have nothing at this point. Hell, if anything, they might end up being fucking vigilantes at this point. Because if the number one hero could do something like this, well, what have the other heroes done? And this brings up, it reminds you of stories like The Boys, or fucking, I can't even think of anything else about The Boys, where you see, like, these people who are supposed to be not saviors, but people who save the day, who protect the people, and all these different things, but on the low, you've been doing all the shady shit. Now, my real question, not my real question, but the next question I have is, what happened between Endeavor being happy to Endeavor being the piece of shit father that we find out about, and what was Dabi's tipping point? So what I initially thought that Dabi Dabi lost his shit and ended up going missing before Shoto was born. But there's a couple clips that you'll see in the My Hero Academia anime. So even back in the anime, you'll see clips of Toya with his brothers and sisters. I don't know if you see his eyes, but you just see him out and about. And this is the scene where you see Endeavor dragging Shoto, saying, don't worry about them, we're above them, you have to concern yourself with training and shit like that, like being the piece of shit that he was. So the fact that Toya grew up with Shoto, he saw Shoto, he knew of Shoto, I'm thinking like maybe Toya started to go on the decline when he saw how Endeavor just threw everybody else to the side, because Shoto had the quirk that he thought was the most ideal to replace All Might. Now, with all that being said, y'all let me know how you feel in the comments. With all that, this has been a fun episode. I am so sorry. So sorry. Look, I really am. I was so disappointed with how the last episode just became lost. But I took every precaution with this one to try and take care of it as best as possible. So hopefully you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please do not hesitate to drop a comment, hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for even more. I have been Chris Cage. This was the Continuity Cast. Can't wait to see you again for episode 10. Hey man, y'all take it easy, bro. Y'all go be great.